Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the weapons of hot dogs, horseshoes and hand grenades. Today we're taking a look at this weapon. This is, well, where do I begin? This is what started the AR series of rifles basically. This is the AR10 and based on this we get the AR15 and eventually indirectly we get the AR18. So this rifle, with the help of designer Eugene Stoner at Armalite, which was a subsidiary of Fairchild Aviation, I believe it is. And this is the basic design of the AR-15. Of course, there's some major differences. First of all, we'll get into that later actually. So we'll do the history first. In the 50s, they Armalite designed this, they produced a few of them as well. The majority of these guns were, however, made by a Dutch company, so this is technically a Dutch-made gun, not designed though. What was it called? Artillerie-industrie or something like that. I can't recall properly. But the first 50 or so rifles were actually built by Armalite themselves. And they submitted the early AR-10 for the rifle trials where the US adopted the M14. However, this wasn't accepted due to a barrel blowing up, which of course kind of hindered them and led to the eventual adoption of the M14, which is a whole other can of worms. You can check out my M14 video on it, or check out Forgotten Weapons. I believe they also, or Ian also has a video on the M14. But due to that, this rifle's chambered in 7.62 NATO, and it would have some other variants. There were also some variants for Sweden, I believe, chambered in 7.62 by 39, or Germany. And this rifle would see various users. Some would go to Cuba, the KLM, the Dutch, not Air Force, the Dutch, you know, the companies that ferry people on planes, air travel company. Yeah, either way, KLM would also get 30 of them for the flights that went above the Arctic for their crew, for if something happened. German would order a few for trials. Sweden, I believe. Cuba would order 100 before Castro came to power. And in fact, Castro, he, of course, Batista ordered a few of those. 100 were shipped. Castro took power and well, captured them. And actually, the representative selling these guns was invited by Castro, and they did a test and all of that. And Castro was impressed by these. Castro wanted more. Castro on the spot paid for the 100 rifles that Batista, of course, had ordered. But sadly, due to US trade embargo, well, sadly for the Cubans, I guess, they could not get these guys since it was under embargo. So Castro, yeah, they didn't get any more than 100, and 100 of those rifles were sent to some other place, I can't remember, in an attempted coup or revolution or something like that. Yeah, of course, other nations used them as well, and the biggest one is the Portuguese. So the Portuguese had an AR-10, however, I believe eventually they also came under some sort of arms embargo, so they couldn't get more of these either. Importantly as well, the Dutch also trialed this gun at a certain point. And eventually, due to financial troubles in the 60s, Armalite would sell the rights to the AR-10, so this gun, and the AR-15, which is this gun, in 5.56. They would sell those rights to Colt, and that's how we got the M16. And this one was forgotten because 7.62 NATO was no longer interested. So this saw, I believe, about 10,000 produced, with most of them going to Portugal, and a few here and there, as you heard. And this really does get the basic design of the AR right basically immediately. There are some differences, so let's go on about it. So I love the look of this, and this rifle was, I believe, significantly lighter than any other rifle at a time, which was the mid 50s, due to using polymers or plastics for hand grip, the hand guard, the back. It uses extensive use of aluminium. The barrel, in fact, which is why it actually blew up during US testing, was also aluminium with chrome lining. That was not strong enough, it blew up. I believe these ones, production ones, used just a regular old steel barrel. And just like the M16 or AR-15, you have a front sight, you have a carry handle sight. This is non-adjustable, just a fixed distance. You have a 20 round mag. You have safety right here. You have a mag release here and here. And unlike the AR-15 though, and early versions of the AR-15 had the same, this has the not carry handle, but what's it called? Bolt handle up here, or the charging handle. Well, the AR-15 Pro Action ones, M16, would have it right here. So the drawback of having it here is that well, this bit gets hot since the chamber is right here and the bolt, so this gets quite hot after use. And of course here, so this is more ergonomic, instead of, you can quickly go boop, but here better for dust, I guess, since you don't have any direct opening up here. Not that it matters too much, I believe Forgotten or InRange TV did a mud test on this on a Brownell reproduction, and it was perfectly fine. Of course, you have this bit, you can accidentally knock a teeth out if you're like, but it's not really big things. You have the typical Sturmgewehr dust cover. Opens up when you open a bolt. Also typical for M16. Really, this is just an M16 in 7.62 NATO. Let's see, I can't see right now. I think I need to clean the lenses on this thing. Oh, whatever. So, yeah, it's an M16. It is a direct impingement, quote unquote, gas system. It is close bolt, fires semi-auto, full auto, safe. It also has a 3-point flash hider here. So, without further ado, we have the target at 20 meters. Semi-auto. Let's go. Now it's semi-auto. It does also lock open on empty. I forgot to mention that. So, as you saw, it's a very controllable, at least semi-auto, rifle. And just like the M16, that is a lot to do with the straight inline stock. As you can see, the barrel goes here, and the stock is straight in line. Great advantage of the M16. M16, that was a great advantage during the field trials as well, that this was lighter, less recoil than the heavier, like the M14 and the FMFL, but sadly, due to it blowing up, it wasn't accepted. Although, to be fair, 7.62 in an assault rifle doesn't really fit. Still not controllable, but everything was on target at least. Another thing I think I should mention is, of course, you gun nuts, you all probably know this already, but the AR in AR10 and AR15, it does not stand for assault rifle. You probably know this, but it doesn't hurt to mention it. It actually just stands for Armorlight, so this is the AR10 Armorlight 10. not Assault Rifle 10. But a lot of commoners, they don't know the difference. Also, I have to say, I do like the look of the waffle mags. Just these look really nice. Simple 20 rounder, nice looking waffle magazines in an good looking fun to shoot gun. And because this has the carry handle, guess what? I've been saving this for last. You can put an M16 scope on it. That's right, guys. So if you want to use this as a what's it called, marksman rifle, you can do that. Also, the bolt handle doesn't reciprocate, and also technically, realistically, it doesn't work since it clips there. But details. It's still a cool Easter egg, I guess. That is realistically not possible. You can also see it if you take here. There's no holes for it, but details. It's still a cool little thing. Isn't really helping my accuracy though. Probably because I'm a terrible shot. I mean, it helps a bit. Like it's more than this one. Let's do some full auto with this scope. This is gonna be terrible. Let's try full auto without a scope again. Yeah, a lot more accurate without a scope full auto, but it being a 7.62 rifle, or an assault rifle in general, the full auto is more of an emergency use than standard. Standard, you would just semi-auto it for best accuracy. So, I do hope you all enjoyed this cool little weapon. This is my favorite AR series rifle. And especially just look at the wood look and all of that on this gun. Like, it is beautiful if you ask me. So, I do hope you all enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe and all of that. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.